Hello, this is Mrs. Graham. This is Grade 3 Reading, Week 3, Lesson 6, Compare and Contrast. The materials you're going to need are a pencil and your assignment paper with a Venn diagram. So I want to remind you, remember at the beginning of the year when we read the book, How to Be Cool in 3rd grade, we had two main characters, Robbie and Bo. We looked at their character traits and we thought about how they were similar and different. We call this comparing and contrasting. Well, authors of nonfiction also use the text structure, compare how things are similar, and contrast how things are different when writing. So readers, today we will look at a new way authors might organize their nonfiction text. Our target today is, today I want to teach you that when you look over a text, you might be thinking, how is it structured? It's helpful to have a handful of optional text structures in mind. Some authors will use an important structure called compare and contrast. I'm now going to read an example where the author used the text structure, compare, and contrast. Frog and toads, similar but different. Frog and toads are similar in some ways and different in other ways. They are both amphibians, which means they breathe with their lungs. They are also cold-blooded, which means their body temperature goes up and down based on what is around them. Their life cycle is similar too, from eggs to tadpoles with legs, tails to little frogs, and toads that hop onto land. On the other hand, frogs and toads are also different in some ways. Toads don't have teeth, but frogs do. Frogs don't use their teeth for chewing or biting, but they do use them for holding prey. Another difference between frogs and toads is that frogs' legs are different than those of a toad. Their back legs of a frog are especially powerful, so it can jump from tree to tree. Unlike toads that have dry, rough skin, frogs have smooth skin, which must be kept moist. For this reason, frogs live in or near damp places. Although frogs and toads use camouflage to hide, they do it differently. Frogs are usually green, so they can hide in ponds. Toads, in contrast, are usually brown, so they can hide in old leaves and stumps. In this article, the reader can identify key words that clue the reader into the fact that the text has a compare and contrast structure. For example, similar or both. Let the reader know how frogs and toads are alike. The words difference, in contrast, or on the other hand, let the reader know how frogs and toads are different. Remember, compare means find the similarities between two related things. Contrast means find the difference between two related things. Now, I will model for you how to take notes that are organized from a text written using compare and contrast structure. First, I want to compare frogs and toads by looking for information that tells how they are alike. In the text, I found that frogs and toads are both amphibians, both breathe with their lungs. They also are both cold-blooded, which means their body temperatures go up and down based on what is around them, and their life cycle is similar too. In the Venn diagram, I have placed amphibians, breathe with lungs, cold-blooded, and similar life cycle in the center portion of the circles. Second, I will contrast frogs and toads by writing only the information about frogs in one of the circles. So I've highlighted in green that frogs do have teeth, have back legs of frogs are especially powerful. Frogs have smooth skin that must be kept moist. Frogs are usually green and hide in ponds. So in one of the circles, I labeled it frogs. I marked that they had teeth, powerful back legs, smooth, moist skin, are usually green, and hide in ponds. Third, I will contrast toads with frogs by finding the information in the text about toads and place it in the other circle on the Venn diagram. First, I found that toads have teeth. Toads have dry, rough skin and are usually brown in color, so they hide in old leaves and stumps. So last, I've labeled the other circle toads and marked that it has no teeth, doesn't have powerful back legs, has rough, dry skin, is usually brown, and hides in old leaves and stumps. Now, it's your turn to read about two snakes and use a Venn diagram to compare and contrast their characteristics. Remember, compare means to find the similarities between two related things, and contrast means to find the differences between two related things. So third graders, your assignment is to read the articles about the boa constrictors and the anacondas, label each side of the Venn diagram with the names of the snakes, list the similarities about the two snakes in the center of the Venn diagram, list the differences about the two snakes on the sides of the Venn diagram, and take a picture of the Venn diagram and send it to your teacher. I'm excited to see your Venn diagram, so good luck and let us know if you have any questions.